I hold a position on the Senate trial that I don't think many people have, but I'll tell you how I think it could possibly happen where he could be removed. All right. First of all, Nancy Pelosi is doing the right thing by holding it up until we have a real court, not a kangaroo court, because we need to be able to call John Bolton as a witness. And John Bolton, I predict, will be the Alexander Butterfield of this trial. Alexander Butterfield was the person who worked in the Nixon White House who just blurted out there, I mean, I think they knew ahead of time, but the public didn't know, just blurted out during the impeachment hearings for Nixon that Nixon had taped every conversation in the Oval Office since the beginning. And the public was like, what? And of course, those tapes helped to bring Nixon down. Bolton knows what's on that national security server where they were hiding the Ukraine call. Right after the Ukraine call, all the Trump loyalists got together, as we now know, and said, we got to place that. That's illegal, what just happened. We have to place that on that server, that secure server, so nobody ever finds it. Okay, now let me ask you this, and the people watching. Do you think that's the first time they put something on that server in the last 3 years? Do you think that perhaps that was just the very first time Trump broke the law, tried to extort somebody, bribe somebody? No. We all know the answer. Even Republicans know it. That's why they don't want the witnesses. They don't want Bolton, because Bolton, even though he's not one of us, he will not lie. Under oath, he will tell the truth. He will say, I happen to know we put other things on that server too. And at that point, the server is going to have to be subpoenaed, and the American people are going to hear what else is on that server, and it's going to make Ukraine look like, no crane. I mean, it's going to be like the average American is going to stop looking for where Ukraine is on the map, and they're going to start, they're not going to believe what they're going to hear. So if that can happen, that's why Pelosi and these guys are pushing. And John Roberts, remember, is presiding over this. So
the Chief Justice of the United States,
of the trial,
Supreme Court,
in the Senate, he'll preside over it. Maybe he has some say in this too. Let's say it happens. Here's what could happen. There's 53 Republicans. Trump can keep the majority of them as his supporters. 33 of them. 33 of the 53 can still yay Donald, but we only need 20 to remove him. All right. I believe this, Amy. Okay, and this, I know this is going to sound crazy, but crazier things have happened in our lifetime. All right. Nobody ever expected Mandela out of prison, let alone become the president of South Africa. I never thought I'd see the Berlin Wall come down. Gay marriage, same-sex marriage, after 2004, when 14 states put it in their constitution, making it a crime to be in love with somebody of your gender. No, we have witnessed things that we never thought. A black man being elected president of the United States. Never in your lifetime do you think that would happen, 12, 15 years ago. You never would have thought that. So you have to go with me on the possibility of this, of why we should push for a real trial in the Senate. Because if it comes out that there's other things on that server, and if we hear what's on that server, he's going to lose 20 senators. Here's how he's going to lose them. There's going to be 20 who are going to be deathly afraid. There's already 5 or 6 Republicans that are afraid they're going to lose their Senate seat this coming year. But there will be 10 Republicans of the 53 who are going to be scared to death that they're going to be removed either in 2020, 2022, or 2024. And they are going to, out of self-interest, not go down with the ship, not go down with Trump. And they are going to vote to remove him because of what's been revealed. That's 10. The other 10 is what I will call the religious 10, led by Mitt Romney. These are people, for their own reasons, no judgment, but they actually do believe. They're real believers. And they have had to hold their nose at the immorality of this guy, the nose that Christianity today could no longer hold when they wrote that editorial, that he has to go. There are 10, I believe there are 10 true believers who believe in their Christianity enough to where they find him repulsive, repugnant, and stands for against everything the things that they believe in. And there are going to be 10 of those, led by Romney, that are going to say, I morally cannot support this any longer. I want to believe of the 53, there are 10 who have a conscience and who truly believe in their Christianity or their Mormonism to the point where they are not going to attach themselves throughout history to this man. They don't want their kids to grow up, their grandkids to grow up to be like this. It's an awful, awful thing. They know it. A lot of them know it inside.
How does Nancy Pelosi guarantee this? How did she get this
She's
promise?
doing what she can do right now by not giving them the articles of impeachment. There's going to be a big fight. This could end up in court. But I think she did the right thing. And I think that if she's successful, if witnesses, the latest poll on that one, 72% of the American public believe that witnesses should be called. Even Republicans believe that. The witnesses should be called. If Bolton's called, if Bolton tells the truth of what's on that server, boom, mic drop.
But no Republican in the House supported either article of impeachment.
Right, yeah. Well, because they still think they can get away with it. The key factor here is the revelation of more than just Ukraine, of things that really affect people in their daily lives. You know, how many times have we seen in the past when the mic is accidentally left on and some politician says how much they don't give a crap about the working person? Or well, Mitt Romney himself, when it was left on, talking about all those have-nots, all the takers, you know. Man, I mean, I'm telling you, something even far worse than that has been hidden on that server. They don't want the American people to hear it, because if the American people heard it, even people that don't share my politics would say that's enough. And there would be hopefully 10 senators who want to get reelected and maybe might not now. And they're going to look out for themselves. And there's going to be 10 who actually live by a code. And they have for now 3 years subjugated that. They've bowed down to the devil, and they know it, and they feel awful about it. And they're going to say enough once we hear what else is on that server. There's my optimistic possible scenario of what could happen. I know everybody is full of, no, it's not going to happen, nothing we can do. But I know I'm not a cynic. I am an optimist.